So, we all have hobbies. We all have things that we like to do to occupy our time, to keep us from boredom, to improve our lives in some way. Maybe you do wood carving. Maybe you do origami. Maybe you keep bees. And all these different hobbies are pretty cool usually and interesting and unique depending on the person who's doing them. Like, no one does one hobby the same way. My problem is that I have too many projects and too many hobbies. I take on too much because I just start them and never finish. The things I'm trying to do right now in my life are finish writing a book, start a business online, learn French, learn ASL, do more glass blowing projects, maintain a consistent presence on social media, generate more drawings, illustrations to sell, get my name out there, take up knitting, and exercise consistently. Why am I doing so many projects when it's clearly too much and I'm never going to finish any of them? I blame my ADHD personally. I start projects at first, I'm really pumped about them and motivated and ready to take on the task. I'm so excited, I'm so pumped. I can take on the world. I'm going to be so good at whatever I'm going to do. It's going to be great. And then over a period of time, I just kind of stop. I started writing my book in the middle of my junior year of high school. I would write it down in a notebook that I would carry with me because I hate typing on the computer. Now the problem is I have to transcribe my writing in my notebook to my computer, which I'm not looking forward to. Anyways, I'm still not finished with it. I don't even know how many more chapters I'm going to write, and I am a freshman in college. This is my second semester. It's been like 2 years. I've also tried learning ASL. I started around the same time, middle or late of junior year. The reason was because I was part of a local art fair and my booth was directly across from that of a woodworker. As I was setting up my table at the beginning of the day, I noticed that he was kind of just quiet. He didn't say much and wasn't really interacting with other people. He was just sitting in a chair away from his booth. I asked my supervisor, which was the guy that was like with the school, to make sure like none of us like hurt ourselves or stabbed a kid's eye out. I asked him why he was acting rather standoffish, and he told me that the man was deaf. An hour or so later, 2 women showed up, and turns out they were his college students and were there to interpret for us. I was so fascinated by like all their hand gestures and the language, and they would sign and they would laugh, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, I want to do that. And so I went home that day after the fair ended, and I tried learning some basic ASL. 1, so I could talk to him, and 2, because I was really interested in what was happening. ASL just seemed so cool. And when I came back and I signed a little bit to him, he was really happy and just like he was smiling and he was just he looked so pleased, even though my signing was really slow and sloppy and clunky, and I've gotten better with it, don't worry. I've been pretty semi-consistent with learning more ASL, and I've learned a lot more since 2 years ago, but I still have a long way to go. I'm also trying to learn French. By the way, fun fact about me, I've taken French in middle school. I've taken French for 5 years in school. 5 years. And I don't remember jack rabbit about any of it. So I'm trying to use Duolingo, not sponsored, to improve my French, and I'm following a series online about ASL, which is really interesting. Aside from what I personally want to do, I have a more school-based project I'm working on. I have to make more glassblowing things for my portfolio at the end of the year for my glassblowing class. I also have to practice on my sketchbook more for that because I've been neglecting that, and I need to fill out a sketchbook for the end of the year. Anyways, I've also kind of been neglecting my health. Obviously, as a college student, my eating habits aren't going to be the best, as well as exercising. Not that I'm like overweight or underweight, or I am unhealthy, but I'm not like dangerously so, in my opinion. But I could definitely benefit from more exercising. I think everyone can, actually. And the source of most of my anxiety, centered around art, is the lack of activity on my Etsy page, and that's kind of getting me down. I know it takes a while for like people to get traction and for their businesses to actually get popularity and things, but like, I don't know, waiting so long makes me antsy because I feel like I have to do all these projects and I have a certain amount of time to do them. And I feel like if I don't do them soon, I'll never be able to finish them, which is not true. It's just something in my head, the anxiety. Although, if you would like to check out my art, you can follow me on my social media pages, which I will put up on the screen when I'm animating this. Hey, I'm actually recording before I animate. Look at that. I suppose that's it for right now. This is probably going to be even longer than normal, even longer than my last video, because of the length of the script that I've written for myself. I'm looking at this and I know it's going to take forever. Alright, have a good one, y'all.